Hello everybody, Lonnie Street here. We're going to do a small tutorial on skinning out deer legs. What we have here is a pair of back legs of a buck that a buddy of mine down the road had gotten. And so we're going to go ahead and skin them out. Now, things about deer legs, if you're going to get some for armbands, you have to make sure that you cut them up high enough so they'll fit, so they'll fit around your arm. Some people, they cut them down here, it's too short, you can't do nothing with them. So like I said, we got to make sure they're long enough up here to cut, and then we'll start with this. So what I usually do is start right here between the two the dew claws, they call them, and you gotta kind of go like so. Be careful, split it all the way up the back, all the way center. You have a good knife, not a dull one, because a dull knife will cut you faster than a sharp one will. As you bring it on up around the back of the, what would you call that?
A knee?
The back knee back. Yeah. Now this stuff up here, when it dries out, it'll be extra anyway, but you can cut it off. But it's always good to have more than not enough. Down here we'll go, this is kind of a tricky part. What I do is I'll cut it in here like this a little bit, and then be sure not to cut yourself though. You gotta have a good knife to cut the heel up, or the toes. So what I do is come on the side of the toe like so and cut down to it. Then split it up to where I had started in between the toes. See there how that is? I'll do it again on this side. Once again, we'll cut it all the way up. Then once again, inside now on the toe. And you'll see why later when we'll get to this point where I did it like this. Some people, they when they do the legs, feet like this, they'll cut the inside of the bone out inside the toe. It takes some kind of, well, a little bit more time, but it's a lot of work to do that. I leave it in because when you drill the toes and put your brass tacks in there, it gives it something to hold on to. See, if you take all the inside of the bone out, then it's hollow and it makes it more brittle. And it's nothing like having a solid toe anyway. So then we'll go up here, pull this apart. See how it comes. Fresh deer legs will be easier to peel out than ones that gets free in the freezer, because it gets in the freezer and it kind of freeze dries, as you want to call it. Fresher they are, the better off you are to peel out. And there have been a lot of people on Facebook asking me, how do I do this and how do I do that? So I figured I'd make a tutorial and show everybody the ways of the deer toe. This is the back tendon here. A long time ago, they keep that back tendon dried out and make sinew, so you can sew stuff up or what have you. Don't be afraid to get your hands all bloody. If you're going to, anyway. There we go. Okay, see here? Now we've got cut all the way down, all the way. So now peels out real easy.
Didn't get that action.
You didn't get the action?
No, sorry. Satisfying.
So then we got the dew claws, they call them. See if you could get a close up of that. See I don't see if you see the knuckle moving right here. There's a little bone. You have to cut up underneath it. Comes off real easy, cuts real easy. Pull my skirt down here. Same way on the other side. You need to kind of be careful to cut around because you don't want to cut the hide. And that's up by the toe. When it dries out on the other side, it can really show. So then we come up around the front of the toe, and there's a gland in between the toes up high. So when the deer walks around, it puts its scent down, and a buck can tell if a female is in estrus or another new buck is in his territory because of the scent that they put down by this gland in between the toes. So what I usually do is I kind of reach in there, like, I don't know if you can see that,
Yeah.
kind of cut like so. Keep pulling it up. If you can see in there, see that little stuff in there, like cheese?
Yeah.
That's the gland. There we go. So bring it on around to the back, both sides. Then you get the piece I was talking about. Pull that up and you cut it right here. Now here don't matter about the gland. You just cut it on down to the back of towards the hoof, because it's going to come off anyway. Yeah. So you keep cutting. And you keep cutting it down past the toe a little bit on both sides. Because if you leave it on there when you dry the foot, it's when it dries out, it's kind of like it's extra excess, and you'll end up cutting it off anyway. So you're just cutting off the trim, if you know what I mean. So then that's what we got. What it looks like, something like that. And then we'll cut as far as you can, and then the knuckle. Right in here, you got to find the joint. Not the kind you light up, but the kind you, the bone. And there's a lot of tendons in here, so you kind of got to be careful and not cut the fur, the skin, I guess. Once you do it, start knowing where things are, and it's pretty simple, pretty easy. And you could get these from, if you're if you live, I'm sure you can go where deer hunters are and stuff. You go to a meat locker where they process deer for people during hunting season. You can go to your local meat locker and ask them for the deer legs at that time. Most of them will they throw them away anyway. So if you ask them about it, become friends with the meat guy, and tell him you want deer legs, whatever, and they'll save them for you.
Or just shoot one.
Yeah, you can shoot your own, but then you're only when you got 4 legs. But if you become good at it and you want to, you know, make a little hustle, skin about 20 pair out, and you know, I think a pair like this here, just dried, nothing on them, plain, they go for $100 a pair. So I mean, that's a good hustle right there, from free deer legs to $100 a pair. You know, like I said, then they throw them away. I don't see why not. You gotta have a good knife with a good sharp tip on it, so you can kind of get down in here towards the, because we're getting close to the joint, or the knuckle. I mean, yeah, joint. And here we got tendons on top, so you gotta kind of cut them, break it loose. You gotta cut this back tendon underneath, because once you get it cut, there you go, hear it? Once you get it cut, then you pull it down and you snap the toe. There you go. See how it goes? You push it down. On both sides. You have to, you know. Ooh. There you go. See how it comes loose? And you can reach down there and kind of whittle around with it. Be careful though, not to cut yourself, of course. Where are you at here? There we go. And then a couple more right here. Just twist it off, and voila. One to go. Then of course you want to put them in a cold water, soap, wash them out a little bit, let them soak for probably overnight. Wash them out, and then they'll be ready to tack down on the board and dry out. But that'll be on another tutorial. So I got one more to go. How long did it take me?
14 minutes.
14 minutes. So you get quick enough, you can do a pair in 30 minutes. And then go on to the next. So if you could do 10 pairs in a day, you know, that's
$1,000.
$1,000.
All right. Shout out to the cameraman. Peace.